aesthetic. I don't need no permission, but I'm so indebted to this game that I love.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Dublin Shamrocks and the Dallas Cowboys. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
On second down, here's Pierce. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
To throw on third down. McIntyre shreds him with his stiff arm. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 42. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Pierce now up the middle, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Here's Pierce on the counter. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around of staying on the ground. This is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And snapped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marquise Bell. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he fires one that's intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, their defense got him the football with an interception. They trot out there, Charles, in the very first play. They give the football right back.
Brandon, I almost expect you coming like an auctioneer. We've got 2, we got 2. Do I hear 3? Remember, it was 2 in a row. Would we hit 3 in a row? Because these offenses, they've got to be a little bit more careful as they go forward. These defenders, they're locked in and really focused.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, and then the defense rallying quickly after that broken tackle. 42 yards on the ground for him so far.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Pierce will try to pick it up. And it'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. And they'll go right back to Pierce. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Sanders' kick is good, and that'll make it 3-0 here in the 1st. So, Charles, they get to them with their 1st turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The Cowboys at 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
And a nice call and really good execution there because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle perhaps, you know. You don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on it. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They sent him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
A first down throw for Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick 6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Taking it about the 1. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by the former Cowboy, Byron Jones. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
There to make the tackle, Jonathan Abram.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the plays we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 68 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner. than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dameon Pierce hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Shamrocks are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the rout is on here in this first half.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
A good pickup there at 22. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing. Prescott. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And what a big-time play there. 62 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
They'll toss this to Pierce on the right side.
Down at the 2. Broke through the first contact, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
He pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. They've got the comfortable lead. Decision time here. Do they go for it, press their luck?
Listen, if I'm the head coach, I take my headset off. I turn to my defense and say, guess what, guys? We're going for it right here, right now. I want the knockout shot, and if it doesn't happen, you've got my back, don't you? Go get it.
And if you don't get it, the other offense, they've got a long way to go in the other direction.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Here's Brian Anger now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away.
Waddle now to return it. A nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back.
And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Pierce takes it straight ahead.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McIntyre. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill.
Picked off by Marquise Bell. And the Cowboys are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On play action, Prescott. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
Oh, he shifts past, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard as the first half is winding down.
And the Cowboys are on the board here in the final seconds of the first half.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, and it makes it 27-7 now.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Another carry for Pierce.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Give to Pierce.
Shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
Jason Sanders set to kick off.
It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any one of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Bradley Chubb able to record his 5th sack of the season.
A truly all-around great effort against the pass today. First an interception, now getting to the quarterback for the first time in this contest. I think offensively, they just forgot to prepare for him or simply overlooked him in getting ready for this one. Either way, a big mistake, and he's making them pay for it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Jalen Phillips providing a little deja vu. Back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A chance for Waddle on the return. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard.
And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. So just enough juice to get the 3, and I think that wind at the back
helped a little bit there. Certainly did, and to me that tells me that head coach knows his kicker and realized the wind was at his back. That was probably the outer limits of what he could make, and he knew the wind might be able to aid him and get that ball over the crossbar, and it did.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Throwing to start the drive. McIntyre. And going deep for Hill. And that is incomplete.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. McIntyre. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Hand off left side, Pierce. 119 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Give left side for Pierce. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. McIntyre. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marquise Bell. And the Cowboys are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around the defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today,
there he goes, right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half.
And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On third down, McIntyre. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Nice third down conversion and even 20 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And Pierce gets it again on second down. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
149 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense...
Oh, and now some space to operate. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big chunk of yardage there. 37 yards.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're...
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Dameon Pierce, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Shamrocks add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From the 10.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
To throw on second and 10. Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. 20. 10, touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. And oh, it's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Tanner Muse there defensively.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the Jets sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 7 yards there and a first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Call that a gain of 11. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, short tackle.
To throw on third down, McIntyre. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 16-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Channing Tindall. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Dameon Pierce, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year.
And the Shamrocks are well on their way to a 5-0 start as they extend their lead.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And it'll be fourth down. Desperation time. Prescott on fourth. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense call, it will make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First down, and it's Pollard again.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's second down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
2nd and 8.
Here's Pollard again. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out. And this is picked up by the defense. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And they will take a knee here. And they'll indeed take a knee.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. A Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for our visitors, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest since I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding the like we knew it all, not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, to look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper.
They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbilly. Q-Bone staying with the lip. Really became a boss many years back. When I'm gone, can be pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border.
So let the rhythm hit him, just let the rhythm hit him. Cause when you feel it in your soul, lift the sound system. Let's turn it up, a little louder, turn it up, a little louder, turn it up. We never turn it down, universal sound. When we hold the pound, take a look around. When we touch the town, not the way, stomping in my big black J's. Corny, get stuck in the